Hey y'all, we are back for another edition of Singles Spotlight. I am delighted to introduce this individual to you. He is here in the Tampa Bay area, although he is from Atlanta. I think he comes from a military family, so he has kind of been other places in life, also coming from Maryland. He is an entrepreneur who is well educated, well versed. He received his MBA not too long ago and actually went to the illustrious Florida A&M University. He is working right now in a space where he is mentoring and guiding youth and always inspiring those around him to just kind of reach for and aim for their goals. And so he's always been a support there. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Aldranon. So how are you doing today, Aldranon?
Good morning, Kendra. I'm feeling great. Thank you for the introduction. That was marvelous, by the way.
I'm happy to hear. So you and I, we've known each other for about a year, and I think we connected when we kind of saw how we've kind of been in the same places. I've lived in Maryland and DC. I grew up in Atlanta, and you did as well. So I think I just wanted to start by asking you kind of really what brought you to Florida or what spurred your interest in going to FAM and kind of planting roots here.
Yeah, absolutely. It was always a dream of mine moving to Florida ever since I was 10. I don't know, for some strange reason, I just want to be with warm water. Even though Georgia was rather warm, Florida just took a great fun of me for the most part. So I didn't know how I was going to get to Florida. I just knew I was going to get there. But however, as I matriculated throughout high school, I came across one of my recruiters, and they mentioned about a job fair they were having in the gym. So I went to there and saw Mr. Caleb King. He was a recruiter from FAMU back in the day. Don't know if he's still there now, but I know remember him that time. Just like my spring year of semester '09. Um, I reached out to him, and then they had a spring preview trip back then that they wanted us to take a part in if you want to visit fam and see what the campus life is like. So I took that trip. My parents, especially my mom, she was like, "Why are you going to Florida A&M? Why are you interested in Florida A&M?" I told her my ambitions of moving to Florida, the weather and whatever, and just seeing the atmosphere. And I knew it was HBCU at the time, and learning about the HBCU culture and the lifestyle and what you can get out of it. That enthralled me to go. So they followed me out there, but I went down there for the spring preview and had a great time despite the inclement weather. And that was it. That was it. I knew for certain I was going to FAM. I knew for certain I was going to graduate from FAM. So fast forward from there, I enrolled in the fall tour 2009, and then flourished from there. I graduated in 2014. And then I went back home for about a year because I didn't have offers right away coming out of college. I had to grind it out, had a couple of part-times here and there, and back home in Atlanta, worked in PR agencies, worked at the Brave Stadium before they moved to Citrus Park. Suntrust Park when he was at the Turner Field. A couple of their jobs there, CSC, security, you name it. I was just grinding it out, and then got an offer while I was going for my MBA. Um, um, I went to a virtual job fair then. It's all about the fairs. It's all about connections. And then got a hold of minor league baseball headquarters and spoke to them, spoke to the marketing team, spoke to the HR representative, what have you, at the time online, and it was intrigued by my professionalism, how I came across my resume up to that point, and my interest in working in the sports industry. From there, and then I came about, got me an offer around December of 2016, and then I moved down here in 2017, January. Worked in the sports management field, worked in the sports marketing and retention, sponsorships for about a year, and then as well getting opportunities to work with the Tampa Bay Rays, also worked with the Yankees spring training, as well with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then from that point on, didn't really like the atmosphere. It was good, but it was something else lost its luster after a while. But I really got involved more so in nonprofit, working with youth and at-risk youth. Got my first start in working with the YMCA Y Reads program, teaching phonological and reading skills and awareness to at-risk youth, K third grade. Loved that. Taught me patience, and moved from there, and just flushed from there. And then just working in employability skills, teaching youth incorporating youth and finding jobs in the community, working with people with disabilities, finding jobs in the community. Um, and that's what I know. I found my passion, working with youth, working with at-risk youth, working with families, uplifting, empowering, enriching. That's all about self-advocacy is big for me. Motivation interviewing is huge for me. And yeah, that's why I call my calling. My calling is working with the youth. So I've been doing that for the last 8 years now.
Okay, so that's wonderful. That actually spurred two questions. So the first question is really because you did go and get your master's in business administration, what kind of encouraged you to apply for the program and to go ahead and make that a part of your repertoire, your professional repertoire?
Great question. Great question. A couple of things. Myriad of reasons. One reason was I got bored. Once I graduated from FAM, it was like once you graduate. I mean, I wasn't lucky to get an offer right off the bat, graduate from FAM. So I was one of those unfortunate that had to find and grind it out. Still looking for what I want to do because I graduated with a degree in PR, but I didn't know if I want to continue working in PR in that sense, working in strictly public relations or advertising and marketing, which kind of veer off from there. Because it's still a broad spectrum, utilize your degree in when it comes to PR, it's communications based background. So I said, okay, let me figure out what I can do at the moment to kind of advance myself and kind of advance my opportunities as well. And I just looked at, okay, I might go back to school again, even though that's something I was already accustomed to doing. I just graduated a year before, but it was something that also just get me, another step in the right direction as pertains to my advancement in career-wise. But then I looked more so in the degree, and I said, okay, well, my MBA, but more so focused in entrepreneurship. And I knew that the program I looked into had that field, so I said, perfect. And I enrolled there in 2017 in the spring, and I also took advantage of some abroad trips as well to kind of get a feel for outside of my country, my own backyard, going across seas, venturing out to China, Brazil, China when I went to Shanghai for a week, and also Beijing, seeing those different cultures and what they bring to the table for their different perspective found communities, and the e-commerce and the economics of it all. I did Brazil, going to Rio de Janeiro as Recife, and learning to see no vast contrast when it comes more cultural versus the infrastructural aspects of things in life. So it kind of broadened my horizon in a sense and kind of see for what is out there as well. And I knew then I said I definitely want to do something on my own, kind of make my own. But gaining that experience along the way, career wise, I just needed to figure out what I really wanted to do, and that gave me the background and the foundation to kind of get the thing going. And then also when I did find my calling in nonprofit, that's the vehicle that kind of drove me to that direction. I want to start my own nonprofit or starting my own for-profit business when it comes to consulting, just like you, Kendra, but working more so with at-risk youth and families, bridging the gap when it comes to referral-based implementation and helping and empowering workshop seminars and everything of that nature, and keeping these kids off the streets and finding things they can do that would kind of curtail them in the right direction when it comes to advancing themselves and teaching self-advocacy and speaking up for themselves and what they have and what their rights are.
Yes. What you
And
do, I'm sorry?
the second question, you mentioned the second question.
Oh, yes. I did just want to say that what you do is so vital because what you're speaking about empowering youth and just kind of working with at-risk youth, what you and I understand is that it is very much we would say, female dominated field. And so to have the presence of a man who is encouraging the youth and uplifting them is definitely something that I would call quintessential. And so I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's definitely not a rest for the weary. It's definitely a taxing job. You see a lot of things, you hear a lot of things, you experience a lot of things when it comes to these broken families. But you definitely want to distance the two. You want to distance your emotions, and when it comes to the work and what you see, and do the best job possible with what's given to the families. So it's definitely, but it's definitely rewarding in the end goal when it comes to reunification, adoption, or just helping the families in need, wherever they need be, finding needs assessments and what have you, to where they can get, and turn in the right direction for not only themselves but their siblings and mothers and fathers and uncles and aunts and what have you.
So I was curious when you said that you did traveling, where was your favorite place that you visited?
That's a good question. I mean, I like both when it comes to what they had to offer. Of course, Brazil was just the serenity of it all. The culture, the community, the familiar aspect of it. They definitely treat you like family over in Brazil. I loved it. I loved traveling across Rio de Janeiro, across the Copacabana beach. Um, just being enthralled into the lifestyle and the living. And the cultural aspect, seeing the artifacts or what have you. And then Recife over there as well. It was more industrial based when the e-commerce comes more into play. Because definitely Rio is definitely the tourist attraction, of course, but then Recife was definitely more industrial as we get more of your businesses and One Star and what have you. That's based out there as well. So I saw a lot of that infrastructure as well. And China definitely has some things that plays a part in it too. Definitely love that the atmosphere, how even those individuals they love to see African Americans, love to see. They was impressed by my beard. They drew artifacts of me, drew pictures of me with my beard. Made me out of a dragon. That was interesting. I received artifacts as there as well. But it was more restrictive in China just because of how they're operating when it comes to communist society or post-communist society. Definitely very, very more under surveillance, more so than Recife in Rio. Um, and a little bit more scrutinized, but we didn't really felt that as much when we was there. We was there back in 2018, so it was that not that, but you can definitely tell. And they definitely had a lot of offer too. Definitely love seeing Beijing with the family and cultural aspect, and then going to Shanghai, the more industrialized, and also going out there to Disney, Shanghai Disney, going to the park out there. And seeing also those businesses out there as well, and what they had to offer and how they make their money. And then just experiencing the foods in both countries is amazing. Brazil, China, I mean, both have plenty of food, too much food, if I might add. So they definitely have things, but they different offer different things. But if I had to give it a slight edge, it probably just be Brazil because of just the cultural aspect of it, of being around the people and how they just even bring you in almost as family. We actually traveled to the favelas, which is Portuguese for projects, and I was just impressed with how they allowed us to come into their territory because we heard stories of how they're very territorial, who come into their, into their neighborhoods or what have you. We was able to travel and go through there, and it was just amazing to see how their homes are built and how they stacked upon one another and what have you. How they had to bring furniture and lug it up these massive hills to get to their homes, and how the homes are made out of these structures just like clay and water for the most part, and still impressed me with the things they had inside. It's homes, they're living, beds, tables, chairs, you name it. And most of them will have doors. Like you just see how they're living and what they have to, to kind of live day to day, and what they still have to, do and to fend for their families or what have you. And the children still flourish, they still was playful or what have you, despite not having much. It was definitely eye opening to see all that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's, of course, one of the major benefits of travel is just really seeing how others live, and it just allows you to be more introspective and maybe even more kind of grateful for what you have. Um, so that's definitely really nice to hear. Of course, we realize that this is single spotlight, and so what that means is that all of the just amazing things that we've heard just now are coming from someone who is in the, I would say, maybe the dating pool right now. And we realize that one of the purposes of Single Spotlight is to debunk the myth that there are no singles out there, that there's no one left, that all of the good folks are taken. We have yet another account of someone who is really out here making moves, being ambitious, and being a positive addition to society. And so I just wanted to close with one question, Al, and that question is, what would be the ideal date for you? That can either be the person or the physical date itself.
Hmm. I think I'll focus a little bit more on the person itself. Definitely be genuine, be authentic, be yourself. Um, definitely have an open mind. Um, I know everybody has their own things in life that they experience or what have you, but definitely have an open mind and definitely come with the table with a fresh sense of knowing that you meet someone new for the first time and learning the individual. Take the time to actually learn and listen. After listening is very important. Even though I say that to my youth, but that's definitely important for adults because we don't really listen to each other as often and kind of learn a person. I think that's more pivotal nowadays more than ever. Definitely learn a person for sure. Not only just listen to what they're saying, but also noticing, how they move, how they operate when it comes to just subtle things here and there, and definitely learn an individual before commit. But yeah, also, just bring, just someone who's, introspective on life and see what they can bring to the table as themselves, and don't put on a mask. Please don't try to, put on this mask that you can hold and keep. Just be you. I really preach that. I really preach genuinely authenticity is the best policy for me when it comes to meeting someone new in a dating scene. I know we live in this world of microwavable society with dating apps and trying to get hookups and everything, but actually learn a person before you just go dive right in. I think that's more pivotal than anything nowadays. Just really learning and growing with somebody instead of just going for what they have or who they are, but actually learning who they are as a whole, starting with from within and then growing out from that way.
I think that's excellent. That's the best approach, because in any arena, you're going to want to learn what's going on before you decide to proceed. So, Al, I just wanted to say this has been a really great and enlightening segment today. I just want to really say how much I appreciate your taking time out to kind of share your life and share words with all of us here. And with that, what we will do is we'll go ahead and close. Of course, anyone who is interested in being a part of Breeze or learning more about what we have to offer, you can visit breezeevents.com, BREEZEVENTS.com. And definitely, if you'd like, also schedule a consultation. I'd love to speak with you. So, hoping everyone has a great rest of your day, and we'll speak again soon.